Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today show. The last show we just did was called The 4 Consequences of Sin. Every sin has a consequence. Every action has a reaction. Every law that you break, you will have to pay. And every time you disobey your parents, you will have consequences to pay. The 4 consequences of sin. So, how do we help prevent committing sin in the first place? Well, one way to start is to wipe sins away with a clean slate by turning your life over to Jesus. But another way is to get heavily involved in your church. I have 10 ways your church can get, you can get involved in your community through your church. Get involved in your community. It's a statement you see everywhere. Whatever it could be a walk for diabetes, running our county council. It could be a blood drive. It could be getting involved in the Christmas decorations. But there's always something in the community to get involved. Well, your church, that church that you go to, that church that helps you prevent sinning on a daily basis, can get involved. Christians don't get involved in the community just for the sake of getting involved. They get involved in the community also to promote how wonderful it is to be a Christian. That would be the best scenario in life, is to let people know in your community that through the power of prayer, everything and anything is possible. So let's talk about the 10 ways you and your church can get involved in the community. Number 1 is to help the homeless people in your community, and we all have them. Are there homeless people in your community? And if they're there, that they are, find out who they are, and find out if there's a rescue mission in your community where you can help volunteer to help these people. Number 2 is find out, is there a women's shelter in your community where you can go and possibly counsel some of these women and find out why they ended up there in the first place, and maybe help them find jobs, and help them maybe some of these women's shelters are there for domestic abuse, and maybe if they don't have money to seek attorneys, maybe try to help locate attorneys that might work pro bono. Number 3 is community cleanup, and we all need to do this, folks. I don't know about you. Do you ever live in a bedroom that's cluttered? Do you ever live in a house that's messy? Well, a community is like a huge house. Do you want to live in a community that's messy and has garbage and all sorts of debris in there? Well, as a church, we all can get together as a team, as a army, a army of God, and work in our community to make it a cleaner community. Number 4 is car wash. Car washes are a pretty common event, not just for churches, for high schools, for so many other causes. You can do it at a totally free, no donation accepted type of community assistance, because there are people that would love to have that. However, I will suggest, because churches do require funds to run, that you do accept donations, but make sure, and I repeat, make sure those donations go for the right reasons into your church's trust. Number 5 is to host a conference, meeting, or a special event, and there is no better way to host a special event that includes 2 things. The first thing, and the most important thing, is to talk about how great our God is, how great life under God is, and how great the afterlife will be. And secondly is that we all, mothers, fathers, children, can get together and come up with like a potluck type of little dinner where everybody brings something, and we can all, as one big family, sit together, almost like the disciples sat with Jesus around the table for the Last Supper. Number 6 is community cookout. Everybody gets together, and maybe in your yard at the church, and We all get hot dogs and hamburgers and all that good stuff, and use the church's property as a place to host a community event that everyone will love to go. People all over the community will love to come, and they will also then be able to hear how great God is. Number 7 is fun for kids. One great community event is each and every summer is to host the VBS. And if you folks don't know what VBS stands for, Vacation Bible School, because now our young people are absorbing the most in their mind, and there's no better way to have them hear about Christ. Number 8 is nursing home help. Folks, we all, with the power of God and the grace of God, hopefully will get to an age where some of us will be in a nursing home, some won't be. But for the ones that are in a nursing home, that are alone, that families only come maybe once a month, as a community of Christ, a church of Christ, we should all volunteer and go to these nursing homes. If it's just to spend time with them, to talk about, let them talk about World War I, II, let them talk about Korea, Vietnam. Folks, let them just talk, because all they yearn is a listening ear. Let's play cards together with them, Monopoly together. Let's sing with them. Let's watch a movie and watch TV with them. One of these days, with God's grace, we will all get to that age where we are yearning for some sort of attention, and it starts in nursing homes today. Provide free, practical help. What about Mrs. Jones right next door to your house? That's 85. That has a screen door that slams each and every night because the spring is broken. Mrs. Jones doesn't have kids. She doesn't have money to fix it. We as a church can go and help the Mrs. Joneses in life. We can go and give a simple helping hand to make Mrs. Jones's life better, to close that screen door so it doesn't slam. Let us all get together as a church and engage people in their community by volunteering their talents and abilities to help others. And number 10 on my list is to have a sports team, a competitive team, a team that wants to get together like the team of Christians that we are, to get together to meet Christ one day. Sports provide Christians an opportunity to either shine or to really blow it. Some of us are sports orientated, some are not, but it's all for the fun, friends. Whatever you choose to do as a church, as a Christian, keep the gospel at the center. Yes, keep the gospel at the center. You'll have fun. You'll get to know people in your community. You'll find a lot of people that want to hear about Christ, that just don't hear about Christ. But the real reason is to glorify God by reaching people with the gospel. Keep that in mind when you focus on your community, when you focus as a church. The real reason to do any of these 10 is to focus on God. Number 1 was to help the homeless. Number 2 is a women's shelter. Number 3 was community cleanups. Number 4 is a car wash. Number 5 is to host a conference, meeting, or special event. Number 6 is community cookouts. Number 7 is make something fun for children. Number 8 is nursing home help. Number 9, provide free practical help in your neighborhood and have a sports team is number 10. And do all this from the bottom of your heart. Do all this knowing that you will get nothing in return other than the satisfaction is knowing is the main goal of all this is to spread the gospel. The main goal of all this is to share the glorification that you have in your heart with other people and to let them know how easy it is to turn their lives over to Christ. 10 ways your church can get involved in your community. And if you don't have a church, be on the lookout for one. In the meantime, for the people that don't have a church, there are many ways of still glorifying God. It could be right from your home. It could be on the internet watching in church. It could be on your TV watching the church. But most importantly, it has to be from the heart. It has to be from your heart to God's ears each and every day. Ask God for guidance and direction. Ask God for guidance and direction. Thank God for everything you do have and stop dwelling on the things you don't have. Thank God for the 86,400 seconds He has blessed you today to live. If you're watching me, you're breathing, and that's because Christ is allowing you to breathe. Call me at 844-405-HELP, because together, you and I, we can help each other take our lives back. And may God bless each and every one of you this Sunday morning in October. Take care.